Got myself some new tools a while back from Festool, who are the one of the top end provider of tools, power tools. Anyway, their power tools look superb. I've not actually got any of them. They're a bit out of my price range, but I managed to get myself some cheaper tools just to try out the sort of quality and the build. I got myself a small utility knife, the Festool utility knife. It is in the Festool colours. It's got nice rubber handle. It's really quite a nice wee neat knife to use. And the spring, there's a really strong spring in there which retracts the blade in, which makes it like a safety knife, you know. So I picked one up that I actually use, a utility knife, an awful lot. I use it, you know, it's one of my main tools. It gets used every single day without fail. And so I got this thinking I would get something that would be good to use, and also check out some Festool stuff and see how good it is. Now it's really good quality. I like how it feels, and it's a nice neat size. The only problem is that spring is very strong and you really need to hold it out. So it's good for light use, if you're just cutting open boxes, or you know, maybe a wee bit of heavy use cutting a carpet up or something. That might be okay, but it's very hard to use. That spring's really strong, and when you put force on the blade, it really wants to force its way back in. It's quite hard to hold it out. If it had a wee lock on it, it'd be absolutely perfect, but then it wouldn't really be a safety knife, would it? So I bought it thinking, you know, that I might be able to use it, but in actual fact, for me, it's not really usable. So I just, you know, keep it for basically in the house, using about the house now, because it's not really good for me to use. So I've went back to my old Irwin knife, and this thing's great. This is really good. It's taken an absolute pounding. I've had this for about 8 years, maybe more. It's done really good. It's got a quick release. You just press that, it opens, and you can have spare blades inside there, if you can see that. So you can keep your spares. You've got that, which is held sort of magnetically, and also those two wee bits there just help hold the blade in place. It works really well. It is a wee bit, when you close it, it wants to push that button out all the time, so you need to sort of hold the button in while you're shutting it, so that it shuts properly, otherwise that can come flying out, which is a bit of a nuisance. I thought it might be a defect with the knife, but I bought another one of these just recently, and I've lost that one though. But so I bought another one, and it had the same problem. If you just try and shut that, it just comes flying out. So it's a bit of a design fault, but you know, you get used to it. You squeeze it, and it holds the blades pretty well. It's a few times they have. You know, if you're really putting a lot of pressure to try to cut plasterboard or something, you know, that's very difficult to cut, you can pull the blades out of them, so the blades can come out. But it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. They can really take a lot of punishment, and this one is well and truly punished. It's well used, but it's a great knife. It is a great, and if I was buying another one, I would certainly look at Irwin knives. Again, in fact, you can retract the blade and it holds spares. That's basically what you need from one of these things. So it's good. So I retired the Festool one. It's a good wee knife, don't get me wrong. Compared to it's a lot sort of neater, the Festool. It's just a pity it takes so much pressure to keep that out. You can probably hear that snapping back in. It's pretty strong, so you know, you've got to really force that. It's a good knife, but not for me. So this Irwin knife, this is great. This is great, and especially with their bimetal blades. I don't have any in this just now. The sort of, it's the blades with the blue writing on it. They are great. They really cut for a long time, and they're super tough. I've never managed to break one. Whereas these are just the Irwin carbon blades. These can snap if you really put them under a lot of strain. Whereas the other ones I've never broken the other ones. So yeah, recommend that actually, the Irwin knife with the blue blades. So anyway.